Hi. Um, I can see myself right now, and I don't think I look very pretty. And my eyes are all swollen, and my makeup is smeared. And I don't really care because I have some things to say, and I hope that you'll find some benefit from the things I say. I'm sitting out in my backyard. I'm looking for my support chickens because I feel like I need a lot of support. And this is what happens to people that have lots of kids or have kids. And when the kids move out, you get a support chicken or dog or several. Um, Life is super duper hard right now, and what I'd like to talk about is mental illness and self forgiveness. I'm sure you've all heard of the stigma of mental health and having a mental illness and having that kind of diagnosis and the stigma that is attached to that kind of um, illness and being on medications and wanting to take care of our psyche and our emotions and our feelings and how we operate in the world and how we perceive the world. Um, there's not a lot of emphasis put on that. Most people pay lip service to it and say that it's necessary and stop the stigma and get the help you need. But there's a stigma involved. There's a stigma and there's a shame. And I think the research that I've done, there's more shame and more stigma if you're a black person or a person of color that has a mental illness. There's more of a shame to that. Um, I was driving in Lansing, Michigan today. I was leaving a Black Lives Matter rally at the Capitol, and Native and Indigenous people were gathered and aligning themselves with the Black Lives Matter movement because when you value one life and you value the oppressed, then you uplift us all. And I firmly believe that, and I support that. And the rally was super powerful and meaningful to me as a human, but also as a mother of seven black children, and as a mother. Um, all this shit blew up. COVID blew up. We all got isolated, and the Black Lives Matter movement blew up because another black person was murdered by the police. Excessive force, police brutality. It's nothing new to people of color. It's just now being magnified and amplified so people can hear it and see it. And good people, um, just because you're a racist, um, defining racism, people have this idea that if they label their racism or if they label themselves as a racist, that means that they're a bad person and that they want bad treatment of black people. And that's not what it means. It means that we're all born with and raised and culturized, socialized with beliefs. And because the world is framed and centered as white and Caucasian, European, then that's the default. White is the default. And there's an assumption that if a black person is poor, that they should work harder. Or that if they're arrested, that they shouldn't do a crime. And there isn't the knowledge for all of us that black people are treated unfairly, are arrested exponentially more, brutalized exponentially more, that there's health inequities that aren't addressed, that there's social inequities, and we're all called to be social justice warriors. Um, Wherever we land, we can only do what we can do. If we can do more, we should do more. Um, but that's not really what I wanted to talk about today. Maybe I was supposed to talk about Black Lives Matter. Maybe I was supposed to talk about being a social justice warrior. I'm going to talk about being a mom of black kids in a white community, and the responsibility of raising black children because no matter how much my DNA is in them, my skin color isn't outside of them. I love them just the way they are, but my movement through the world will never be the same as the movement of my children through the world. And how raising my kids, I was married to a black man, and I should have left a long time ago. I've been divorced for 17 years, and he was abusive, and he did things, and he hurt me, and he hurt my children, and he didn't abuse them per se that I'm aware of, although I guess he did, because at least two of my daughters have reported sexual abuse by him, but they witnessed all of the trauma of seeing abuse and fights and chaos. And by the time I left, there'd been a lot of trauma. There'd been a lot of trauma. We were married for 14 years and we had 7 children together. There was a lot of trauma. And I carry that guilt and I carry that responsibility that I could have left sooner. I could have left sooner, but I was scared. And I didn't have money. And I didn't have training. And I didn't have a job. And I was scared. And when I finally left, I thought people were going to help support me. And they didn't. They didn't support me at all. Of course, my ex-husband continued to terrorize me and the kids. My family that was supposed to be supportive and promised to support me through that scary time, um, they didn't support me. But I don't hold any of them responsible. It's my life and it was my children, and I tried my best, and I know that I failed in a lot of ways. I had bad relationships, I made bad decisions, I reacted to my stress in crazy ways. I didn't have the support that I needed, and I was in denial in the support, emotional, mental health support that I needed. I needed more. They needed more. And I was so busy trying to go to school and raise them and pay the bills, but I failed. And today, one of my children has been checked into a psych hospital. Um, he had a psychotic break, and I'm super thankful that he's in Michigan and he's getting the help that he needs as a black man with a mental illness. I'm terrified. I work in mental health. I am a psych nurse, and I know I'm well aware of the stigma. I'm well aware of what his life could potentially look like, and my heart is hurt. And I'm just learning how to do these videos on YouTube, so I know that I can probably edit and put in a number for the mental health resources in Michigan. But I hope that you'll Google if you need help, if you need support, if you're a mom with black children, if you're a mom with children with a mental illness, if you're a mom, reach out. We do the best we can, and we still fuck up exponentially. And I'm sorry about that. And I'm going to keep doing the best I can. And as I learn more, I'm going to do more. And I hope you'll do the same.